Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Bre Jahmella and I welcome you to my channel. And if you're already a subscriber, guys, welcome back. As you can see from the title, guys, this video has been requested so many times on more tips when moving to Atlanta, Georgia. So guys, I'm just going to give you guys a part 2 because obviously y'all trying to move to the A. I'm here for it. But I'm just going to give you a few more tips that I did not give you in the first video. If you did not watch the first video, please make sure you check it out. I will drop the link below, guys. Please make sure that you watch that video so you can be thorough when you're moving to Georgia. Okay guys, so first thing I want to touch on is budget. Guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. I've gotten this question so often and I'm going to try my best to answer it the best way that I can. Now, anyone who knows, you guys know I moved to Georgia February 28th of 2021. So with that being said, the original date to move was September 1st, 2021. Now, due to the blessings of God, I would say, your girl got to move 6 months in advance, right? Now, with that being said, was it a huge jump to move that fast? Absolutely. Not even gonna hold you, because I was prepared to be down here with no job for 6 months, only 6 months, and that's me being realistic with you. And that's factoring in rent, all the bills I had to pay by myself, and everything else that I had to pay. You get what I'm trying to say? Being in school, all of this stuff. So those are things that I factored in. Everyone is different. So when it comes to like budget, I would say you have to be very realistic with yourself. What are you paying for now before you even move to Georgia or Atlanta, whatever? What are you paying for now? Add that up. Now add up rent. Right? Add gas in there, because keep in mind, if you don't have a job, or you have a job but you want to look for a better one, you won't have to be driving around to go to interviews. Do you not? You have to pay for gas. So you have to be very realistic on your budget. You got to eat. You know what I'm trying to say? Depending on the person, you gonna want Wi-Fi. Like me, my house had to have Wi-Fi. Like I could not move without Wi-Fi. Like where I live, it's a lot of trees, and T-Mobile picks up down here, but it ain't the best. So with that being said, I need the Wi-Fi in my house. So you guys have to factor in what your expenses are now and what your expenses are going to be coming down here. Yes, there are things that are less expensive, but at the same time, if you're adding on a bill like myself, adding on rent, adding on paying a cable bill, those are things that were different for me. You get what I'm trying to say? Paying renter's insurance, paying light, paying gas. If your apartment adds water in. Some apartments you have to pay for water separately. Some apartments are added in. My apartment adds it into my rent. So basically they charge me like, I think $30 or $40 more in my rent to pay for my water every month. You get what I'm trying to say? So every apartment complex is different. So you do need to ask these questions. That is something that you need to ask. Because child, you don't want to have no crazy water bill because you out here wasting water when you brushing your teeth. So budget, be really realistic with yourself. That's the only real advice I could give. Be realistic with yourself when it comes to your budget. If you can't afford it, don't flex like you can. Because one thing about Atlanta, a lot of people be capping down here. Like they straight capping. They not really living that life, and you don't want to come down here and get warped into that mindset. You be realistic with yourself. Like, I could afford this. This is where I'm comfortable at. I can still go out and have fun and have a good time, but at the same time, my bills are paid. Be realistic and be an adult. Now, I'm going to say looking for apartments. And I spoke on this in my last video, but a lot of people wanted, I guess, clarification. Now, when you're looking for an apartment, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I would say you need to give yourself 6 months to a year. Did I do that? No. I gave myself like 6 months. Mine was 6 months. 6 months, mine was, no, I was like 4. I'm not gonna hold you. It was like 4, almost 5 that I gave myself to find an apartment, right? Now, I would say 6 months to a year, because anybody who's seen my apartment, check out that video as well. My apartment tour is up. If you saw my apartment, I love my apartment, but I've seen other apartments since I've moved to Georgia, and trust me, they're better apartments. You get what I'm trying to say? So like, I'm not knocking mine. I love mine, and I'm gonna be here for 1 year. After my year is up, it's either I'm moving to another apartment or I'm moving into my house. Like either or, it's, you know, but I'm not going to stay here past a year. You know, I don't want to stay past a year because I've seen nicer apartments than the one that I have. So, and that I'm actually paying the same amount of money for. So why not move into something nicer? You know what I mean? And anybody who saw my apartment, yeah, see, I have upgraded stuff. I have washer and dryer. Like I have these things, but I repeat, there were apartments that I've seen after I moved that were nicer. So I would say 6 months to a year, so you could really narrow down on where you want to live, and you don't have to feel, I guess, like iffy on if you made the right decision. Because trust me, after I got my apartment, moved in and everything, I was just kind of like I could have waited a little bit longer and got something else, but you know, everything has a reason. So, but I'm still happy. So I was in 6 months to a year. Definitely research, if you're the type of person that wants to be closer to a city, definitely research how far the city is away from where you're going to live. Now, when I say research, do not look, let me clarify this properly. Do not look from where you live to the city at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., or 12 a.m. You need to look how far your house is from the city at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and even 8 o'clock, okay? Those 7 hours from 2 to 8, you need to look what traffic is like. Because why? It will say at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning that you live 10 minutes from the city or 15 minutes from the city. And then when you do 2, 3, 4 o'clock, you are living 45 minutes, maybe an hour from the city. Now, it depends on the person. If you don't care to drive, then do what you do. Me personally, I didn't care to be close to the city. I just happened to be lucky that I'm close enough to the city. But either which way, I don't even need to go in the city because where I live is like Metro Atlanta. I live near everything. I live close to the Braves Stadium. So I live close to things, so I don't need to really go into the city unless I really, really wanted to. So I repeat, it depends on the person. Like if you want that ATL life, you want to go downtown, you want to go to Lenox Square, the mall, whatever, then you need to know where it is that you're putting yourself. You get what I'm trying to say? So just keep that in mind. 6 months to a year, just know there are options. When I mean there are so many options in Georgia, and not just Atlanta, Georgia, like there's so many options to move. It's mind-boggling. Like apartment-wise, I think they build more apartments than they do houses. That's how real it is. Like it's so many places to live in Georgia. Trust me, you will find the right apartment. So just keep in mind how far you want to be from the city, and also how far you want to be from where you're working. You get what I'm trying to say? So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be too far from your job as well, unless you're working from home. But just be mindful of traffic and times, because why? You will be burning gas. You will be. Child, gas in Georgia, it goes. I'm going to keep it buck. It goes. So just keep that in mind. All right, number 3. So number 3 would be make a list of what you want in your apartment. And it may not sound like something that's important now, but when you're looking at apartments, it matters. Like for me, having a 2-bedroom, 2-bath was non-negotiable. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I wanted a beauty room and a room to film in, okay? As you guys, I'm in my beauty room now. I can't wait till it's finished so you guys could see it. But you know, I'm slowly starting to decorate it. I'm gonna vlog that, by the way. When I finish my beauty room, I'm gonna vlog it just for y'all. But anyway, please know things that are non-negotiable. So for me, that was non-negotiable, right? Now, another non-negotiable for me, which was stupid, but it was a non-negotiable, was I wanted rectangular mirrors in the bathroom. Like a lot of apartments in Georgia, the mirror in the bathrooms are square. For some odd reason, I wanted a long rectangular mirror. It's stupid, but it was something that I wanted. Now, something that for me was I would compromise on was whether having a balcony or not. My apartment does not have a balcony, but I have a sunroom. You get what I'm trying to say? So it depends on what you want. Not like me. When I move into my next apartment, if I decide to move, most likely I will, I want a balcony now. Because I have a sunroom and I liked how the sunroom was, but I'm like, nah, I want a balcony now. Like, I want to be able to go outside and have breakfast on the balcony and drink tea on the balcony, or just sometimes relax on the balcony. You know what I mean? So I thought about that now that I've moved into an apartment without one. But I need you guys to write down what are some things that are non-negotiables for you and things that you're willing to compromise on. So it'll help you know what kind of apartment you're looking for. Don't just look at the apartment and say, oh my God, I like it, I'm taking it. Because then down the road, you will kind of feel different about it. You get what I'm trying to say? Because that was me once I moved in. I felt different when it came to not having a balcony because now I want one and I don't have one. So keep things like that in mind. Also, parking. A lot of complexes charge for parking. You need to know whether your complex is charging for parking. Mine does not, thank God. But if I had to move into somewhere that was charging parking, I was not moving there. I'm not paying for parking. If you have a pet, they charge pet fees. Now, I'm about to get a dog. But I ain't gonna tell them I have a dog because I already moved in. So I'm not paying nothing. But they have fees for that. You get what I'm saying? Just don't get caught. You ain't here for me, but don't get caught. But they have fees for things like that. So guys, please be thorough when you're looking at these apartments. Like, I feel like everybody just wants to move, but no one's really doing any research. And that's another reason why I'm making a part 2 of things to do, things to know or do when moving, because you will really get caught up just looking like, yes, I'm moving, I'm so excited. And then you move and you be hot. Like I'm not gonna say I was mad, but if I feel like if I took more time, no cap, like if I took more time, realistically, I could have found probably a bigger apartment, even though my apartment is a really good size just for myself. I could have found a bigger apartment. I could have found an apartment with a balcony. I could have found certain things that would have made me happier. You know what I mean? So like living in this apartment, I'll probably be here for 1 year because my lease is for a year. And then after that, you know, find me another apartment. Like once I'm about to get close to the last 2 months, I'll start looking for another apartment because I know where to look now. I know what I want to be around and stuff like that. So just guys, keep that in mind as well. Just make sure you know what you want and what you don't want. It will save you a lot of regret in the end. All right, guys. So the next topic, number 4, y'all gonna like this one. The best times to move to Atlanta, Georgia, child. Now, your girl know the answer. I got y'all. I'm put y'all on. So, a lot of people will be like, oh, it doesn't matter when you move. That's wrong. It actually matters. The best times to move to Georgia are January to April. And one of the reasons that is because it's tax time. Everybody getting a cash. So what the apartment complexes do is they give you discounts. So they will give you like 1 month rent free. They will give you 50% off rent. They will do all type of things. They'll put, oh, no security deposit when you're moving in. Guys, January to April, one of the best times to move. The next best time to move is September through November. Those times, no one's moving to Georgia. Usually nobody's moving, so you're gonna get a good deal in your apartment, right? You're gonna get a good deal. Now, if you move between May and August, child, good luck. Because everybody's trying to come down here. All the poppin' events is happening. All of the lit black creators, entrepreneurs, they always throw in some type of events down here. Guys, they're gonna charge you more on rent. Because why? It's a time of everybody want to be down here. You get what I'm trying to say? Guys, please do not move between May and August. Just try your best to hold out and move between January and April, January to April, and September to November. Trust me, you can get a good deal. Now, listen, that's just my opinion. If you want to move in those time frames, that's on you. But I moved in February, I would know, like, trust me. And I've actually started looking at apartments now, and some of the apartments I was looking at, even the one that I have now, because of course they have more than one of my apartment, the one I pay for my apartment now, they actually raised it to like $400 more than what I pay. And I'm just like, yeah, no, couldn't be me. But it is the same exact apartment. So with that being said, guys, please know the best times when to move. It will help you a lot. Also, to add on to the best time when to move. Now, I'm smart. So what I did was I moved in February 28th of 2020, which is the last day of the month. So the way my security deposit worked was I paid for the month of March. I paid for the whole month of March. I paid my rent for March, and I paid for that one day in February. And I didn't pay the whole amount. It was like $50, right? So I paid my full rent for March, so I didn't have to worry about March's rent. And I paid like $50 for the one day that I lived in the apartment in February 28th. Now, if you move in mid-month, they're going to charge you every single day to the end of the month. So if your rent is, say, $1,500, right? They're going to charge you $750 if you move in the middle of the month. And when the first comes, you have to pay the full month's rent. Why would you want to do that? So you're telling me you just moved into your new apartment, you're going to pay $750 for half the month, and then you're going to pay $1,500 on the first. In 15 days, you're going to pay $1,500. Now, if y'all got money to waste, let's get this cash. I don't care. But me, I wasn't doing that. So I kind of tried to trick the system where I was like, okay, just move in the last day of the month and then pay the rent for the first. And you don't have to worry about the rent for the whole of March. You chilling, you working, making your bread, and then you pay your rent April 1st. You get what I'm trying to say? To me, it just made more sense. So I would recommend, guys, do not move in the middle of the month, because that's how the apartments work down here. They charge you every single day, depending on when you moved in. That's why most people do not move in the middle of the month. They move into the first. Most people move in on the first, just to make it easier. But for me, I moved in the day before the first. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Now, next up, I would say is what you come down here for. Now, if you're coming down to Georgia to date, stay where you're at. This is not it. I'm not saying you can't find love. Shut up, I'm not saying you can't find that. But I feel like Atlanta is more for networking, business, getting it together, getting your life right, building on what you already have. Like, I don't feel like Georgia is a place to find love. Like, for me, it was more so moving, get your life right, buy your house, you know, get everything that you want to get and do everything you need to do before a certain age. You know what I mean? So that was my intent when moving here. It was never to find love. It was never to be in a relationship. It was never, none of that. You get what I'm trying to say? Not saying that I'm not going to find that, but I'm just saying that wasn't my motive or my prerogative, if you want to say that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I just felt like down here was where Black entrepreneurs, Black creators, and all these things prosper down here. So networking down here, like it works down here. I do not recommend you coming down here looking for love. And now, if you already got a man, or you got a girl, but I wouldn't recommend looking for it. Like, people in Georgia, their type of time is different. Do not come for me in the comments. I'm just saying, people down here, their mindset is definitely different. Whether they are originally from Georgia or they moved down here and got that Georgia mindset. Me personally, I feel like I'm always gonna have that New Yorker mindset. I'm just built like that. You get what I'm trying to say? So my type of timing is different, but everybody is different down here. I would just feel like down here is the best place to grow and just expand yourself in so many different horizons and just really get your life on track if you're serious. So I feel like that's what Georgia's about. But it's what you make it, realistically. But I just don't recommend that dating thing. Like, I just feel like it's just not here. Like, I don't see it, but you never know. Anything can happen, but that's just my opinion. So I would just say, if you're coming down here, be on your P's and Q's. Just be serious about getting yourself right, getting your mind right, getting your life right. Because to me, that's what Georgia really, really has to offer. And it's just a dope place to turn up and be lit at. Not gonna hold you. So that's always a plus. Now, last but not least, tip number 6. Now, the only reason I'm even adding this in because I actually touched on this in my last video, but I did not elaborate on it. So a lot of people have been asking me to elaborate. Now, I use this thing called Jetty when I moved into my apartment. Now, every apartment complex does not have Jetty, okay? They may have something like Jetty or they may not have it at all. What Jetty is basically a company that pays your apartment complex the security deposit in whole. You only pay not even a fraction of what your security deposit is, okay? Now, with that being said, if your security deposit, and for what I like about Georgia, your security deposit is like, it's like pennies. So your security deposit would be like maybe $500. Out of the $500, you would probably pay $160. You get what I'm trying to say? You pay $160, it's non-refundable, right? So when you move out, you do not get the $500 back. You don't get anything back. You don't even get the $160 back. You get nothing back. But it's up to you. Depends on the person, okay? For me, I did not pay a security deposit. I used Jetty because I was moving and I didn't want to waste any more money. That's the only reason why I use it. Now, if you're another type, you know you're the type of person that's gonna want the security deposit back, then you can't use something like Jetty. You need to pay your security deposit in full, okay? Me, I didn't care about getting the security deposit back. So what I did was use Jetty, okay? Now, do not come for me in the comments, guys, because I've heard one too many people say, well, you shouldn't be recommending people to use that. Child, I'm just giving y'all the tips if you're trying to save that money. You know what I'm trying to say? I was trying to save money. I was moving from New York to Georgia. Ain't nobody was trying to spend more money than I had to spend. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I had to dish out mad bread, and I still got to dish out mad bread because I have to buy all new furniture because I didn't have any furniture. So if you're like me and you got to buy everything new, child, every dollar counts. Now, if I was moving and I had furniture and I had certain things, I would have just been like, yeah, I don't care to pay the $500. I'm not losing nothing. But for me, at the moment, I felt like I was losing. So I used Jetty. Now, one thing I realized is the apartment complex will not tell you about Jetty. You need to ask. You need to ask. Like when you're doing all your apartment stuff, guys, please make sure that you ask questions. That is huge. Ask questions, deals that they have, requirements, anything that they have, please, please, please ask questions. You do not want to get caught up in no foolishness because you didn't ask the right questions, okay? So guys, please make sure you ask questions. Also, your leasing office. Read reviews about the apartment when it comes to leasing office. Because if you don't like the people in your leasing office, when things break in your apartment, you're going to be hot because they're going to take too long to come fix it. Me, I love my leasing people. They were so nice. My residential office, when you go there, you tell them something's broke, child, within that week, they're coming to fix it, period. Like I had like in my apartment, we have like lights, bulbs, you know, you change the bulbs. We don't change them. You call them and say, hey, my bulb is out. They change your bulbs in your apartment because they give us like $10 bulbs and stuff. So like they have specialty bulbs that they give us. So we don't pay for none of that. So child, make sure you like your apartment complex leasing office or residential office because why? Those are people you're gonna have to be dealing with once you move in the apartment. Not even the leasing office, it's more so the residence office because that's who you deal with once you already moved in and you're a tenant. So just keep that in mind, guys. Also, I said, again, ask questions so you can know what the apartment complex does. Any form of Jetty, works with any form of Jetty companies or anything of that nature. But that's about it, guys. I gave you guys 6 tips. Again, 6 more tips. And this is me living in Georgia now. 6 more tips of moving that I feel like were really, really good to know. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check out my other videos because I have more content when it comes to moving to Georgia. So check that out as well. Other than that, guys, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Drop your comments below. Anything else that you want me to either talk about or that you would like to know about Georgia. Because I feel like y'all love my Georgia videos. Y'all really do. So let me know what else y'all would like for me to touch on when it comes to me being down here. But I'm going to see you guys next week. Adios.